I'd like to call to order the 11:30 reduction hearing schedule for City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. I'm assuming nobody who's here at this point was here this morning at 9 o'clock for that agenda. If you were not, and you're going to be speaking to me about any of the matters on the agenda, you need to be sworn so that your testimony is under oath. I can swear everyone in at the same time. If you'll please stand, raise your right hands. And do each of you swear or affirm under penalties of perjury that your testimony this morning and possibly into this afternoon will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you all. You can have a seat. We will call the cases. I guess we have a sign-up sheet for this agenda. When your case is called, please come up to the podium to my right. For each case or group of cases, the city is going to give me some background information on the previous violations, the amount of the lien, and that sort of thing. After I've gotten that background information, then I'll come over to you and you can tell me about the request for the reduction. And once I've heard everything from everyone, I will enter an order on the matter. So let's go ahead and get started.
Okay, starting with agenda item, other matters, number 5. Case number CE191202250. Case address is 2700 Vandiver Drive.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Keith Marshall. I represent the owner.
Okay, thank you.
May I approach? I wanted to give you the addendum that we have to our petition, which gives a summary and a memo to the city council.
Yep, as I indicated a minute ago, let me hear from the city first. I want to get the
okay.
background information, and then I'll be
Okay.
right back to you.
Sure. Thank you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Case CE 191-20250 was cited on December 27, 2019. The property was taken to hearing on January 15, 2020 for clean sanitary, trash and debris, and dumpster enclosure violation. The property was given 120 days or $500 a day to achieve compliance. The property was out of compliance for 476 days and resulted in a lien amount of $238,000. Special magistrate, this is the same owner who caused a violation. We've spoken with the code officer that cited the property at the time, and he has confirmed that these violations were present at the time that he did reinspect. So at this time, the city is seeking 25%.
Thank you. All right. Yes, sir. Now let's come back to you.
Okay. May I approach?
Why don't you show the document to Ms. Clark, and then I'll take a look at it. I want to make sure the city doesn't have any, or has a chance to look at it as well.
This was submitted.
Okay, so this is already in you've already seen this? All right, give me a minute to take a look at this. What am I looking at?
Okay. Just to give you, the court, an overview, what we're dealing with is 4 apartment buildings in a row, 2-story buildings, 56 apartments, with an alleyway in the back. In that alleyway are dumpsters, okay? Ryan Cardis is the manager, and he has a diagram that he can show you so that you have a picture of what the area looks like, an aerial.
May I please bring this up, sir?
Please show the city first, and then I'll take a look.
Mr. Marshall?
We decided to put it into this alcove, which helped us with the code ordinance, so therefore the dumpster was
Sir, none of that is on record because you weren't at the microphone, so if you want to repeat that again, that would be great.
What you said to
And
her.
please state your name for the record as well.
Yeah, sorry about that. So in that picture you're looking at,
Could you state your name? I'm sorry.
my name is Ryan Kitis,
And what is your,
The property manager.
property
Thank you
ma-
very
for
much.
West Palm Lane. So in that picture you're looking at, you will see 4 buildings, which one of them consists of the 2700 building. We do have that back alleyway that is up against the canal. When trying to put the dumpster enclosures there, one of the requirements was to have a dumpster enclosure that was 14 by 14 feet, which was not feasible due to the location. Also due to our area, we had to have dumpsters there to accommodate our residents. So after months of figuring out what's the best solution, having multiple site visits, I kind of looked more into the code ordinance and saw that opposed to having a dumpster enclosure, we just need to have them out of the public view from someone using the sidewalk or the streets. So what we did was we got with the code enforcement officer, Carlos, can't pronounce the last name, and we had came to the conclusion that putting them in the alcove would suit what we needed. Therefore, we could avoid the dumpster enclosure, which wasn't feasible regardless, because we have put in permits and we went through multiple correspondence and trying to rectify an issue, and this is what I came up with.
Explain to what the sanitation.
Yes, so when we did have, we had a gentleman by the name of Mr. Patrick Assetti come out for multiple site visits.
And who was he from?
He's from the sanitation department, and he is, I believe, the supervisor. And he came and graciously tried to step in and help us. His ideas were great, however, they were conflicting what the zoning was requiring. He was stating that it was very difficult for him to have that dumpster enclosure constructed in the alleyway, and it would prevent him from moving forward. As you see in the photo, it goes around in a loop behind the building. You go in from Spencer and you can come out on Sequoia or Van Diver. And the way we wanted to originally construct them would be at the end towards the white gravel walkway. And he expressed his concern that he wasn't able to back up his truck roughly 300 yards and reverse it from the way he came in if we had constructed a dumpster enclosure of 14 by 14 feet there. But it took us a lot of correspondence just trying to figure that out, because we were trying to make it work prior to knowing that we could put it in the alcove. So we weren't essentially aware of the alcove. It took time and for us to fail essentially to see, hey, this is what's going to work. We've exhausted all efforts to get this dumpster enclosure built, but it was between the city, we were just all conflicted. The public works and the zoning was conflicted on what would work best. And essentially they told us that it was up to Patrick Assetti and if he was comfortable with what we were doing, because he was the supervisor and the route had to work. So yes, so what we did to come into compliance was we did have 2 4-yard dumpsters. We reduced them to 2 2-yard dumpsters. We had placed them in the alcove. We had got Mr. Carlos, the code inspector officer with West Palm, and we came out here and we went to the city. We showed photos. We had put, Patrick said he was perfectly fine with the location as long as we took parking curbs to prevent it from going down on a downhill slope on the alcove, and that's exactly what I did. Once we'd done that, a gentleman by the name of Mr. Leon Pinder, he had gracefully closed out the fine, and we had came to compliance in regards to that.
The fencing.
Yeah, so we also had multiple locations with the dumpster enclosures, and we were just trying to essentially enclose all of our dumpsters, despite us just being told to enclose the ones behind the 2700 building. That also posed a very difficult issue, if I may bring you up a map.
Okay.
I'll repeat that there.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's where the dumpster is. And so as you can see in the photo, we do share, this is behind the 537 building, which is still our building. We are also dealing with a lot of illegal dumping. We've prosecuted a few people, but however, despite all that, we were trying to enclose it. However, due to the fence and new requirements from the city to construct a concrete slab, because the dumpster enclosure was not allowed to be constructed on asphalt, we were a little too close to the canalway to construct a concrete slab that close. So, and then we also had Patrick suggest that we possibly eat up some parking spots, but we knew we were going to run into a problem in regarding parking. So, again, after a little bit more research on my own, I just found out that, again, we just need to make sure that this dumpster is not seen from the public view, which would be behind the building on that cul-de-sac that we share. So what we did was we submitted a permit for 133 feet of vinyl plank fence that was roughly 6 feet high, which did not allow anyone to see the dumpster from any public sidewalks or streets or any public view. So that's how we got around the dumpster enclosure, because simply what was being requested just was not feasible for the land and the space we had to work with on site.
Okay, let me just talk about how many times a week the picks up there and the
Ms.
supplement.
Clark, before you proceed, I just have a question for the city, and you may have said this in your background comments, but if so, I apologize for not
okay.
catching it. When the case was originally cited, can you tell me how much time the notice of violation gave the respondents to comply before they got to the point of having to come to a hearing?
120 days.
That was the 120 days?
Yes.
Okay. And can you tell from your files, did anything happen in those 120 days?
From our understanding, the code officer was out for a little while, the one that cited the property, but I can say on here from what we seen after speaking with him, I know we're speaking a lot about the dumpster enclosure, but let's not forget that there were other violations on this case as far as like trash and debris and things out there of that sort. And as he stated, yes, although they were working with the city to come up with a solution for the dumpster enclosure, there was still trash and debris that was present on the property, and that is detrimental to the neighborhood. So we have to look at that aspect as well. The code officer submitted the affidavit of noncompliance on May 20th of 2020, but the decision to move the dumpster to the alcove wasn't made till August 26th of 2021. So essentially, it took a lot longer on their end to try and figure it out, because as he even stated, we had Carlos Maldonado from Public Works coming out, Leon Pender, who is the superintendent of Public Works, as well as planning and zoning, code enforcement. We've all tried to, come up with solutions, and he ended up just coming up with one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. Go, please proceed.
To answer into regards to having the trash, so I had reached out to the city of West Palm pickup department on September 6th of 2019 regarding scheduling bulk pickups due to the increase of trash, illegal dumping, and can I bring that to you, ma'am?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell them that was
So
prior.
this was prior to the code violation received on December 31st by Marcus Williams, but I thought it was important to bring up because we were dealing with a constant bulk pickup. So I actually have invoices payable to West Palm Trash Department ranging from September 6th of 2019 upwards to May 21st of 2020, showing that we have called and we have paid for special pickup. Again, the time of this violation, COVID had just hit, people were leaving their apartments, people were illegally dumping. It was a constant battle that we were dealing with. And if I could provide you all the invoices that we have paid to the city of West Palm referencing bulk pickup. And in the description, it says we were picking up things like mattress, living room chairs, metal wood. And this was just illegal dumping, essentially, something we couldn't necessarily control. It was just something we had to try and prevent. We've reached out to the city, and what I want to show you is these invoices.
Someone put cameras in to try to catch it.
Yeah, so we did put cameras in behind the 537 South Sequoia, and we were able to prosecute three people in regards to illegal dumping. They essentially were doing a project on someone else's home, and they just saw our dumpster that was obviously seen from the public views, and they just took it upon themselves to illegally dump. Luckily, we caught them in the act, and we proceeded accordingly. One moment, please. So what I'm going to present here are just invoices ranging from September of 2019 to May of 2020, showing the invoices of special pickups that we have paid the city of West Palm to come out to our community and help with this this trash, which references Code Ordinance 18106A and 18106I.
Thank you.
Is it okay for me to continue speaking? Okay,
By all
so
means.
furthermore, on top of that, we did have correspondence. So again, as stated previously, I did receive a violation from Marcus J. Williams on 12/31/2019. Again, he did reference 3 ordinances. 2 were the trash and bulk debris, and the third one was referencing the dumpster enclosure. Again, when I did speak to Marcus, he was more concerned in regards to the dumpster enclosures. So on January 13th of 2020, which was roughly 14 days after my last contact with him, I did send him an email, and I did present him the contract and just to show good faith, to show that we are on top of it. And despite, everything that was going on at that time, we were going to comply. And if I may, please bring that to you. In that email, you will see that Marcus did acknowledge that the special magistrate would have granted us 120 days. Furthermore, again, we did have bulk pickup throughout September to May. We did have till May 20th to comply. And as you see, we did submit the permit application for the dumpster enclosures on May 26th of 2020. Which was 6 days after we were required to do so. However, we have kept that property clean, and we have called multiple times for pickup, but it is a constant battle. In reference to the violation, that is just 56 apartments alone, and more than half of them are 2 bedrooms, so it's a lot of people, and it's just something we've been attacking.
Try to talk about your private supplemental pickup.
Yes, and as he graciously mentioned, we also, again, due to the time when COVID, a lot of people were skipping out, a lot of people were leaving, and we've had to call multiple vendors to come and trash out units just so we wouldn't have them go on the street and just dump everything there. Our maintenance man and our company, we don't have a dump trailer, so obviously, well, excuse me for that, but we would have to have called a vendor because we wanted to haul it off the property essentially. We didn't want to leave it on site for that to be seen, as we do pride ourselves in our curb appeal. We've done a lot to that property since we've owned it. We've painted it, we've renovated, we've done the pools. So it was very frustrating to us as well because we have put a lot of capital improvement into that building. And this was just one of the battles we fought in trying to increase, the area and increase the property to something that's desirable, opposed to just ran down and neglected.
In the interest of judicial economy, I'd just like to summarize the overview. What you have here is an impossible situation. There's no perfect solution, because if on Sunday somebody moves out and dumps their mattress and leaves it out there, and the pickup is late Monday afternoon, and the inspector comes Monday morning, you're in violation. They have scheduled as many pickups as they can from the city. They've supplemented it by private vendors. They were sent basically inadvertently on a fool's errand on this whole permitting process for an enclosure, which the sanitation department found to be unfeasible because they couldn't negotiate their front-loader dumpster trucks. So you couldn't have a more diligent owner trying to comply than you have here, Your Honor. And it just turned out to be a long process till the city and the sanitation department, the owner, finally came to a solution, which was to downsize the dumpsters, put them in an alcove, fence in the area, and increase the number of pickups. And that was done.
Okay. Thank you very much. Anything else from the city?
Yeah, I just want to hit on his point. As far as notice, prior to the code officer even submitting this, we do have re-inspections. As you can see, the pictures is from several occasions of the trash being put out. It's not one instance where he came on a Monday and it was just let out. If the trash can was properly enclosed, even if you were to come on a Monday or a Tuesday, that's not something that would be visible to the public, nor would it pose a threat to the public. I think that's the point that we all have to establish here.
Okay, thank you. Any final?
Yeah, so, and also to that, I mean, I completely understand her point in regards to, not having them enclosed, but I'd also like to present more things in regards to numerous site visits we've had, correspondence showing that I have reached out to Matt Hadjizi, sorry for the mispronunciation, which he is the industrial engineer for the city of West Palm. And I would just like to notice that he too had just acknowledged this essentially fool's errand that was just very difficult for us. And if you notice, the photo of the trash on there was for 5/20 of 2020, and we had a bulk pickup the next day, which is 5/21, which was noted on the invoice that I provided to you guys.
I've got that right here.
Furthermore, I'd also like to point out that the code violation was in regards to the 2700 building, the dumpster enclosures. We took it upon ourselves to also enclose another dumpster enclosure, which was located on our property, which this 2711 building, which I do have the permits and the past inspections for. So although we have our mistakes, we wanted to go over and beyond and come in with compliance. It was something, essentially with everything going on, people moving out, as stated previously, it just added to make it increasingly difficult. So if I can provide to you the correspondence between Matt and I regarding our site visits, which shows we were actively working on it. We just unfortunately couldn't come to terms with what worked best for us and what worked best for the city. So if you don't mind, I'd like
And the
to.
sanitation department.
Well, correct, and the sanitation department. So this was the original permit that was submitted on 5/26, and that was just approved. And then we have correspondence with that, thank you for issuing permit approved for having trouble. Some of your questions simply will not work with the room we have to build on site. And then he replies, we'll probably need to do a site visit to discuss further. And then you could just see the correspondence between Danny Brown and then Patrick replying saying he'll meet me there, which is the supervisor. And then we did a second site visit because after that first site visit, we weren't able, so Ed, which was the second site visit. And then these are also here, sorry. That's the permit and the correspondence. And this is also, and I'll repeat what I'm saying there. Also, this is for the, since we came into compliance with the alcove, we were told, instructed to close out the permit and open a new one because I wanted to do more dumpster enclosures. So this is the permit that I submitted on 9/9/21, referencing the dumpster enclosure, but that's not the 2700. And then this is a permit referencing the gate.
Okay.
And this permit for dumpster, perfect. And then Oh, and also I'd like to note, I wanted to show how many move-outs we had, which also attributed to our trash problem from September to March, just to give you a reference of what we were dealing with. And then here is that we passed the inspection for the dumpster enclosure. And then, I think that should suffice.
I'm going to ask you to just to summarize what you gave us for the record.
Well, that's what I was gonna do.
For the record, Ryan, could you just summarize those documents that you just gave to the city today? What were those last documents?
Yes, absolutely. So the first document I provided was the eGov one-stop shop, which was the permit application we submitted on 5/26 of 2020. Again, we were required to do so by 5/20/2020. Also, I provided correspondence between the city and I referencing site visits, basically stating that the requirements that we are being asked to, address or do not suit us. They're not feasible. There is correspondence there referencing not one, but 2 site visits over the course of 2 months, which just shows that it was not as simple as one thought, hence the second site visit. And then I did also show that we wanted to go over and beyond, and we did add a dumpster enclosure at another building on our property. I did provide the permit application, the one-stop shop, and I also did provide that the inspection was passed.
So, to conclude, Your Honor, you can't ask an owner to do more than this owner has done. They were caught in a dilemma between 2 different city departments. One for code enforcement with respect to the enclosure, 2, the sanitation department that couldn't maneuver with these enclosures, and then a final solution that was arrived at. Yes, if you had the benefit of a crystal ball in the beginning, you could have maybe figured out that you could have put the dumpsters in the enclosure instead of the enclosure in the alcove, but nobody knew that. Everybody was running down a path, traveling under the notion that an enclosure could be put in that narrow driveway behind the building. I therefore request the court to suspend this fine in its entirety.
One of the things you just provided was a calendar with all these move-out dates. What's the relevance of that?
Yes, sir, my apologies, I forgot to touch on that. The move-outs, I wanted, my referencing to showing that was to show that that's an abnormal move-out normally for an apartment building, and due just to the times we had an high influx of move-outs, which obviously attributed to illegal dumping, people moving out, not wanting to take some of their belongings, and just placed it on our property with no regard to how we would have to deal with it. So I wanted to reference that during that time, we did have a higher amount of people move out than what we consider to be normal. And that would show that we have residents that, former residents, when leaving, they just dump on the property. They wait till the weekend, they wait till Saturday, they wait till Sunday, they throw their stuff out, and they just leave it for us to deal with.
Okay, I understand. I mean, isn't that just one of the unfortunate realities of being in the apartment rental business? You have to deal with this sort of thing?
Oh, absolutely, sir. What I also wanted to reference was it's a constant battle. I don't think that any apartment property would look clean 365 days of a year. I think it's up to the management to see what happens and attack it and do their best to provide preventative outcomes for this. However, sometimes it's very difficult to, foresee people moving out, people breaking their leases, illegal dumping, and also, and again, it is part of the apartment industry. It's something we deal with, but we have been actively working on it, and I believe we've shown good faith in that we've been dealing with it, but we've had a tough problem on our hands, truly.
Okay. A little bit of housekeeping, so, 2 color photographs. We have the calendar of move-outs that was just discussed. We have all of the emails regarding the exercise, the failed exercise about dumpster enclosures, which ended up not happening. I have all of the special pickup invoices that were provided, the permitting documents and correspondence between your contractor and I guess city staff regarding that exercise. That's all part of this record. I have looked at all of those documents.
Yes, sir.
As well as the photographs that have been provided, and everybody's
Your Honor-
testimony. I appreciate you being this prepared for this hearing. That's not always the case, so thank you very
Your
much
Honor,
for that.
the owner wanted to make the point that since she took over the property, she's dramatically upgraded the property. The taxes have gone up like 60% to show that the value added to make this a nice, upstanding property. Criminal activity in that area had decreased dramatically in the apartments. Better clientele, more law-abiding clientele, and we just feel that we've done the best we can in this situation.
All right, thank you, counsel. I appreciate that. In this case, this is 2019 case ending in 250. The current lien is $238,000. The city's recommendation is that that be reduced to no less than $59,500. Based on everything I've heard, I have heard plenty of testimony about good faith effort. I think that that is the case, that you have shown a good faith effort to comply. So I'm going to reduce this down to $8,000. Can you pay that in 30 days?
Yes, Your Honor.
30 days.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, now on to other matter number 4, case number CE 2102-0304. Case address is 740 51st Street.
Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement. Case CE 2102-0304 was cited February 22nd, 2021 for inoperable vehicle, garbage can placement, unpaid parking, and outdoor storage. The property was taken to hearing on April 7th, 2021, and was ordered 30 days or $100 a day to comply. The property was out of compliance for 135 days, resulting in a lien amount of $13,500. Special Magistrate, the owner had actually agreed on the application to paying $4,000, and the city will accept that offer.
So there's an agreement, Ms. St. Hilaire, for $4,000?
Yeah, there's no objection to it, yeah.
I would be
But I don't know if
happy
you- if
to
you-
ratify and approve that. Let's hear from the applicants in this case. Sir, why don't you go ahead and tell me your name and address, and then if you want to verify that you've reached an agreement with the city for $4,000, I'll be happy to hear that.
Nomás dijo que digas tu nombre y a veces tú vas a asegurar que arreglaste todo y que con la ciudad ya llegaste al reglamento y vas a aceptar pago de los 4,000. Dijo solo eso.
Bueno, puedo agregar otras cositas, preguntarle. Sí. Yeah.
Ya empieza
Yeah.
con tu nombre.
My name is Antonio Hernandez. I'm living from Tennessee.
Yes, sir.
20 years. Okay. I have interpreted. She's my niece. I need to talk to you. I'm a flag coming here. Bueno, yo le puse 4,000 porque diciendo eso, pero veo que mi situación está muy peor. Dile, yo vivo y tengo familia, tengo 5 hijos y ahora ya arreglé todo. Dile, ¿qué va a pasar con eso? Dile, espero que aquí en adelante se va a arreglar todo bien. Me voy a poner más atención. Por lo mismo, no sabía la regla, me notificaron 2 veces nada más.
Okay.
Dile,
¿Pero estás de acuerdo con los 4,000?
a ver si lo puedo apelar
Okay.
otro poco. Sí,
Okay, so
sí, porque
he's
tengo
saying,
problema económico.
like, yeah, he got to the agreement with the city for like
Let me
4,000.
get you a little closer to the microphone, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. He said that he did agree with the city to pay 4,000, but he was asking if that could, be reduced a bit. He said that now everything is in compliance, ever since everything started getting out of control. He said, like, the car, I guess that was like, I guess not functional. It got removed since of May, and he just said that since he's not really in Florida a lot, the communication is like a bit harder for him to kind of get back and forth. So, and he kind of feels like 4,000 is a bit too much because he does have like a list of like business expenses for what he did to improve like the home property. And like he said, he has like a family also in Tennessee, so it's like kind of hard to like kind of either rent a car to come over here or like pay for a flight and like lose a few days. So,
Ya arreglé todo lo que ya invertí es más inversión,
so,
para pagar taxes también, de taxes también.
like this is the list here of what the business expenses. So he's kind of like he wants a reduction as to what he had put into the property. So I don't know if she wants to see this or if this could help for him to have like the fine to be reduced in some way.
Okay, so I just want to make sure, the city has indicated that you've offered to pay $4,000 to settle the lien, is that correct?
Bueno, eso es lo que pensaba, pues si él me hace un descuento más de lo
Yeah,
que
he
tengo,
said
no
he
tengo
did
money.
agree.
I know how to manage my credit card, pues I have it.
Well, the city's agreeing to that as well. I have no problem approving that agreement. I guess the one question I would have is how much time do you need to pay that? Or have you discussed the payment? Is that going to be paid today or is that going to be paid over a period of
No,
time?
I'm just going based on the application that they submitted and what he felt was a fair offer.
Puede ser, pero eso lo puedo pagar hoy, pues si yo
Oh,
uso
how
una
long?
tarjeta de crédito.
O sea,
Sí.
hoy lo puedes pagar.
Sí, le
eso.
doy 2,500, sí, eso es lo que está pidiendo, ¿no?
No, 4,000 que pagas.
No me lo rebaja.
No.
Ok,
Pero
está
dijo,
bien.
¿cuánto tiempo necesitas? Como un mes.
Voy
2
a pagar hoy una vez con mi tarjeta de crédito. Tengo mi
Ok.
tarjeta de crédito para pagarles de una vez.
Okay. Well, he was hoping to get a reduction, but he said I guess he could pay like the fine like today.
For credit card, I pay for credit card,
So yeah,
allá lo
he's
voy a
agreeing to
pagar
pay
otra vez.
today.
Sí.
So you can pay the $4,000 today?
Yeah.
Pues si no me hacen descuento.
Yeah, he was hoping for like a bit of a
Okay.
reduction, but if not, then he'll just pay just to get it out of the way, not to deal with it anymore.
Sí. Es que yo vivo muy lejos de él, pero ahora voy a estar más atención. Sí.
Yeah.
Or is there anything else that you'd like to tell me? I just want to make sure that,
Oh no, he was just saying like he'll like be like more cautious, more attentive to the property, even though like he's far away, but he'll try his best to like reach out and to try to avoid like another conflict between the city, the home.
Me notificaron 2 veces también, nada más.
Okay.
Dos
Well, he
veces.
was just saying he got like 2 notices of
Two notices,
of the
yeah,
violations.
Y eso me hizo enfermar también mucho por
Yeah.
esto. Sí.
Oh yeah, and like he was just saying like it was just too much, he was like recently admitted into a hospital like a month ago, so like he said it's like kind of, a bit too much, but
Un estrés de
yeah, it's been,
all right, anything else from the city?
No, we're good.
All right, and then this will be reduced to $4,000. Put 30 days to pay it, even though you're going to pay it today, just in case.
okay.
But, all right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. To other matter number 2, case number CE 19040071. Case address is 2000 North Congress Avenue, Unit 205.
But number 3 looks like it has the same address.
Number 3 is being removed from the agenda.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Case CE 190400071 was cited on April 4, 2019 for failure to renew the rental license and certificate of use. On June 5, 2019, the special magistrate ordered 10 days or $100 a day to comply. The property was out of compliance for 46 days, resulting in a lien amount of $4,600. the applicant is who caused the violation. The city is seeking 50% of that. I know on the application, the owner stated that they own several other properties and that they did apply for the rental license for them and just forgot about this one because of improper, I guess the property manager wasn't handling it. But as we look through the records, they've been cited a few times for renewal. It never went to hearing because they took care of it, but that just goes to show it's not just one property manager when they've been notified a few more times that, hey, this is what's needed to be done every year.
Okay, you have the pop-off
Oh,
sheet
yes,
on
I
this
do.
one?
I'm so sorry.
Thanks. All right, yes, ma'am. Go ahead and tell me your name and address, then you can tell me about the request.
Nora Chirinos, I'm the attorney for the owner, AKDE LLC. The address is 2000 North Congress Ave, 2005. Good morning, Special Magistrate. Good morning, Ms. St. Hilaire. I'm going to just give you a little bit of background, and I'll respond to the city's position. The owner did not receive the notice of the violation sent in April 2019 because they had not updated their most current address with the city. They became aware of this violation around September 2019 when they were in the process of selling another property that had the same manager for another limited liability company. So it was just by happenstance that they became aware of this lien. At that time, the property manager was Pamela Cordova from Deluxe Realty. She came to the city and inquired with the inspector because when they took over the management of this company, they renewed about, I believe they were managing about 10 to 15 properties. So they sent all these applications and all these payments to the city. Apparently, the application for this property was received, but somehow the check or the payment for this license was never cashed by the city or was never processed. At that time, she made the payment and the license was issued with an issuance date of August 2nd, 2019, as noted on the records. The property was liened 10 days later on August 12th, 2019. And yes, the city is correct that this specific property had a rental license violation back in 2000, if I'm not mistaken, 16. They have been in compliance in 2017, and they were in compliance in 2019, except for this error, which at this point, I'm not sure where the check was, whose fault was it that the check was lost or the payment was not processed.
Okay. All right, thank you for that. Anything else from the city?
No, that's it.
All right, so this is a 2019 case ending in 071. The balance on the lien is $4,600. I'm going to agree to reduce that to $1,000. Can you pay that in 30 days?
Yes.
30 days.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 1, case number CE 05040181, case address is 372 Forest Hill Boulevard.
Okay. Case CE 05040181 was cited on April 18, 2005 for an overgrown lot and landscape maintenance. The property was taken to hearing on August 17, 2005. The property was given 30 days to comply, $100 a day. The property was out of compliance for 3,656 days, resulting in a lien amount of $365,600. Magistrate, the applicant are purchasing this property from the
sorry.
current owner. Yeah,
I didn't hear, I couldn't hear.
Oh, I'm so
You
sorry.
guys- No, I'll come over to you guys in just a second.
so the applicant is actually in process of purchasing this property from the current owner. And although we do understand that they plan on doing major work to this property, we can't excuse the fact that this property was out of compliance for 3,656 days with overgrown and landscape issues that was not only issue to that particular property, but to the neighboring properties. If you look at the previous picture, it was almost like a jungle in that area. But we were made aware that the current owner at the time was experiencing some health issues, and there was their parent passed. So taking all of that into consideration, the city is seeking 10%.
Now, Ms. St. Clair, there's no way you're old enough you were the code enforcement officer on this.
I was not.
I see your name there, but
I
there's no
was
way
in-
you were doing
I
this
was just in high school.
20 years ago.
I was not. It was, I think it was Sue. I'm not sure. I can
Okay.
tell you right now. Someone named Lawrence, Code Officer Lawrence. Mark, you knew who that is? Code Officer Lawrence? That's way before him, too. A secretary? Oh, he was a we're not. Yeah.
Okay, and that's fine. I just saw
Yeah,
your
so
name
long.
there.
But if we pull up the pictures from the old case, it was like a jungle.
Okay.
The Polaroid.
Do you have the pop on this?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you. All right, gentlemen, go ahead and give me a name and address, then you can tell me about
My
the,
name's Angelo D'Alessandro. The address of the property, or where my office is, or what address do you?
Are you the purchaser?
I'm gonna be the owner.
Your
right?
office is fine.
Yeah, 1820 North Corporate Lakes Boulevard, Suite 208 in Weston, Florida.
Thank you, sir. Go ahead.
Thank you. And everything she said was 1,000% proper. We were kind of tossed into the situation also. We did all the work on our own dime. We don't own the property yet. We're waiting for this lien because obviously the amount of this lien was a big, problem. So we just got kind of sucked into the story of the seller, and it is a pretty long, sad story. I won't go into that here because I know everyone wants to go home, and we're just trying to close. I mean, as soon as we can to pull permits and do the property properly.
Did you say that you've already invested some of your own resources in this?
To do all the work to get the outside into compliance, yes, sir.
How much have you spent?
We spent around, $5,000? About $5,000,
Okay.
yeah. So. And that's all. We're just, nothing that she said was wrong. We're just trying to get it as low as possible because it is, the owner's issue. He is very sick, and we're just trying to get it all resolved for him.
So was it your work, the 5,000 or so investment that brought it into compliance?
Yeah.
From my understanding, yes. Yeah.
And by the way, it is very hard to get sod these days. I don't know if you guys know that, but
It's hard to get a lot of
we
stuff
had to
these
go
days.
all over the place to get sod.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to get a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
these days.
yeah.
And the pictures I'm looking at now are this is current conditions. You did a good job. It looks good.
Thank you.
If you, when you close, are you just gonna kind of renovate, or are you,
Oh, it's a full permit job, and windows.
you're not
roof.
demoing it, you're gonna?
No, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna bring it back to. Actually, it's a cool little Art Deco house,
Yeah,
so it's gonna be really cool when we're done with it.
okay. All right, anything else from the city?
That is all.
Okay, so this is a 2005 case. The current lien is $365,600. Based on everything I've heard, I'm gonna, well, I'm not gonna say that. I got some crazy stuff on here later, but I'm gonna reduce this to $3,000. Can you pay that in 60 days?
It'll be paid like within a couple weeks.
All right, put 30 days on the order.
Thank you very
Very
much.
good, thanks.
Appreciate it.
Special
Thank you.
magistrate, 30 or 60 days? 30,
Okay,
okay.
yeah, if you're gonna pay it within the next week or
We're trying to
so.
we'll try to close it next
Sure,
week, and
yeah.
it'll be done.
Thank you very much.
All
Good
right,
luck.
thank you. Thanks, everyone. That was fast.
Okay. Moving on to other matter number 6, 7, and 8. They are the same address. Case number is CE 07010219, CE 07010670, and CE 17060212. The case address is 1101 18th Street.
Okay. We're just gonna go through them one by one. There's 3 cases. Special Magistrate, one by one?
Go ahead.
Okay. Case CE 07010219 was cited January 9th, 2007, for failure to secure a building permit. The water heater, pipes, and building sewer were not permitted, and the inspections associated with it. On April 6, 2007, the magistrate ordered 90 days or $200 per day. The property was out of compliance for 387 days, which resulted in a lien amount of $77,400. Special Magistrate, the applicant is the current owner who caused the violation. The city is seeking 25% on that,
How much?
25%.
That's on the 77,400?
Yep.
Okay.
So, case CE 07010670 was cited on January 23rd, 2007 for needing paint, broken doors and windows, rental license, certificate of use, trash and debris, hurricane hazard, overgrowth, and outdoor storage. March 30th of 2007, the magistrate ordered 45 days or $200 a day until compliance is achieved. The property was out of compliance for 363 days, resulting in a lien amount of $72,600. The city's also seeking 25% on that. And final case, CE 170-60212, was cited June 13, 2017 for window screenings, interior repair, roof walls, and foundation repair, doors, windows, plumbing fixture, clean sanitary paint, and landscape maintenance. On August 16, 2017, the magistrate ordered the property 60 days or $100 a day until compliance is achieved. The property was out of compliance for 1,437 days, resulting in a lien amount of $143,700. The city is also seeking 25%. Magistrate, I just want to make it a point to say, as we can see, there is a history of this property of violating city codes, but not only that, some of these violations as far as failure to secure a building permit for the water heater, the piping, the sewer, all of that, not only is it a hazard to that particular property, but everyone that is around. So when making your final decision, please consider those. City. That's it.
And, is this then the same owners the whole time?
Same owner.
I'm looking at the sale information, it looks like the dates would be the same owner.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
I just say, looking at the sale information on the property appraiser sheet, it looks like it would be the same owner, I just wanted to verify
It is the
that.
same owner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's,
Okay, yes, ma'am, give me your name and address, please, and then you can tell me about the request.
Thank you. My name is Donna Goose on behalf of Dolores Whittingham. I'm her attorney, and also for the current owner, which is Jacqueline Sams. Ms. Whittingham deeded the property over to her daughter perhaps around 2011. So the current owner is Jacqueline Sams.
You said that's her daughter?
Yes.
Thank you.
So she gifted the property to her daughter.
Understood.
And she's acting as the property manager at this time.
Okay.
Okay? All right. Your Honor, for the violations on number 6 and number 7, which occurred in 2007, that was during the crash, and Ms. Whittingham had gone through a depression because she's a hairdresser, and at that time, people were not coming to the property or to her store to, for business, and she just did not have the funds in order to bring the property into repairs. She did eventually bring the property into compliance, and the violations were stopped, I believe in 2008. After she conveyed the property to her daughter, there was a notice that was sent, a certified mail was not received. And also, it indicated that there was a posting per the system, but there was a tenant in the property at the time, so the daughter never received that notice. It was when the property was being sold or attempted to be sold, that's when they found out about the violations. And once that was done, Ms. Whittingham, as the property manager for her daughter, began to communicate with the city and trying to do everything that she could to get the property into compliance. I believe she was in communication with Ms. Hilaire, also with Monique Williams, in order to find out what needs to be done in order to get the property in compliance.
Okay.
She was going through bankruptcy at the time, so that was, again, this is during the pandemic, when she found out about, the violations. And again, only because the property was being sold. I do have receipts of, during the period for the violations on number 8, the expenses that she expended to get the property into compliance. May I give it to?
Show them to Ms. St. Hilaire first, and then I'll take a look.
Oh, okay.
Your Honor, I know that the city's looking for 25%, but we're asking because of the situation, considering that the notice was not received by Ms. Sams, and it's only when they found out through the sale that these violations were in effect, that's when she hurried up and tried to get everything in order. So we're asking if you can just, either waive it or go significantly below the 25%.
All right, let me take a look at these. So without doing the arithmetic, do you have a ballpark estimate for
She
what
says
was?
she's expended about $6,000 to get the property into compliance.
We'll go ahead,
And when she did think, when she thought everything was done, she communicated with Ms. St. Hilaire, and she says she advised her of what needed to be done, and she quickly went and took care of those things.
okay. Okay. All right, thank you. Is there anything else you'd like to tell me about the request for the lien reduction?
No, that just, Ms. Whittingham, again, she's an elderly woman. She looks young, but she's elderly. And that, again, that. 77. And that, again, yeah. And she says her business is really not doing well. She would need some time to. $300 a week. She says she's making $300 a week through her business. But the point is that we're asking, if the court can give her ample time and reduce the fine significantly, considering, her circumstances.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me come back. Anything else from the city? Can you tell me a little bit more? You had mentioned at the end of your presentation regarding some issues with plumbing or the sewer system or
Yeah, a
storm
lot
drain.
of,
What?
from the first 2 cases from, give me just a second here, from both cases from 2007, those cases, like the first one, there was no permit that was pulled, but, we're changing our water heater pipes and building sewers. And at the time, Ms. Whittingham, she was the owner of these properties. And for the KCE 0701670, trash and debris, hurricane hazards, overgrowth, these are things that, again, are not only an issue for that actual property, but they are an issue for every property that is around it. So we do have to take that into consideration, and look how long it took to get the proper permit to get these things done. It took over 387 days to file for the proper permitting for the first case. And at that time, who's to say that if a pipe did burst or there was something with the sewage line, what that could have meant to a neighborhood who is already impacted, it's low income, there is not a lot of money coming in and out of the area. So that would have been very bad for the neighboring properties. And although I do understand that, Ms. Whittingham, there was the depression and bankruptcy that you had to file, we still have to, understand that these things impact everybody else.
Okay.
That's just what I want to say.
Any final comments
Yes,
based on
And
my?
again, as I said, during the crash, for her industry, it was significant. I mean, she's offering services, no one's going out to get their hair done. It's like almost a dying situation, so that sunk her into serious depression. I guess by 2008, people were kind of acclimated to what was going on, so she was able to kind of pull herself up by her bootstraps and try to get this thing fixed and taken care of. So she hired the necessary people to pull the proper permits to get everything into compliance, Your Honor.
Okay.
Special Magistrate, may I quickly respond to the notice issue?
Sure.
The city did send certified mail to the address on file with the county tax appraiser's office. At the time that the quitclaim deed was done in 2011 to Ms. Sams, it showed her address in Maryland, and that's where the certified mail was sent. It was returned. However, there was posting at both property and city hall. As it stands right now, that address is still on file with the property appraiser's office, so any notices in the future, if there should be any, are still going to go to Maryland.
I'll make sure that gets corrected. I'll find out if that's the address. But as I said, yeah, she did not receive that certified mail for case number 7. And then the notice that was posted on the house was never provided to them. It's only when the property was being sold, that's when they found out about those violations.
Yeah, no, I'm comfortable that the city has lawful, proper notice. Whether that was actual or not, it was certainly lawful. Okay. Anything else?
Oh, no, that's it.
Anything else?
No, Your Honor, thank
Okay.
you.
All right, I got 3 cases here. Give me just a minute to wrap my head around everything on these.
Bless you. No, this is for 1101. That's not what this is for. This is not what we did. This one. Leave it alone then. Well, I don't know. I mean, why? It's a violation. When I tried to put in the paper that I could say that my name was not, so I didn't belong to it, so I just wanted to, we'll let you check that. But you told me it was a violation, was this property. So I don't know.
Okay.
No, this is just everything on this property.
This is a tough one because there are factors that mitigate towards both the city and towards the respondent in this case. I'm quite certain nobody's going to be happy with me on this one, but I think I'm doing at least what seems like the right outcome to me. So we have 3 cases. The 2007 case ending in 219 has a lien of $77,400. The 2007 case ending in 670 has a lien of $72,600. And the 2017 case ending in 212 has a lien of $143,700. Ballpark math, the city's recommendation is that altogether the reduction be
$73,425.
roughly $70,000 in that neighborhood when you add all three together. 19,350 for the first, 18,150 for the second, and 35,925 for the third. That's in the ballpark of $70,000. That actually is almost what the appraised value of the entire property is. I understand the circumstances that the applicant is facing, and on the other hand, it is the same owner that's dealt with this the whole time. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to, in the case ending in 219, the 2007 case, I'm going to reduce that lien from $77,400 to $4,000. In the case ending in 670, which is also a 2007 case, I'm also going to reduce that one to $4,000. And in the 2017 case that ends in 212, which is a $143,700 lien, I will reduce that one to $7,000. I can give you a year to pay that. So that's, I think the total is 15. 4, 4, and 7, and 12 months to pay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you,
All right,
Honor.
thank you very
Yes,
much.
thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, 15.
Okay. Special magistrate?
Yes.
Agenda items, or other matter number agenda item 9 through 26 is the same owner. It's different, 3 different addresses. Do you want me to call the
I'm-
addresses?
Through 26. Why don't you give me something challenging? Holy cow. And that's basically the rest of the agenda.
Yes, and it's 3 different addresses, so I can call the addresses
Okay.
individually. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So agenda item number 9, 10, 11, and 12, same address, 914 13th Street. Case numbers are CE 09080809, CE 11050387, CE 11080181, and CE 12060048.
Okay.
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 Okay. All right, case CE 09080809 was cited on August 20, 2009. The property was cited for external repairs, rental license, certificate of use, paint, lighting standards, debris, and overgrowth, and outdoor storage. On November 18, 2009, the special magistrate ordered 30 days or $100 a day to acquire the rental license and COU, an additional 60 days or $100 for all the other violations. The property was out of compliance for the rental license for 14 days, resulting in a lien amount of $1,400, and 527 days for the remaining violation, resulting in a lien amount of $52,700. Special magistrate, this is the new owner. Let me give you that.
And what was your recommendation on that? 25?
My recommendation is 25%, but I want to go through just to
That's
show.
fine. Yeah, this is a vacant lot, yes?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Case CE 1105037 was cited on May 20th, 2011, 2011, wait, yeah. On June 19, 2011, the magistrate ordered a fine for 3,450 days for the 23 days that the property was out of compliance, because this lien was a result of being a repeat to the previous case.
So this is the lien that's $3,450?
$50.
That was a repeat
It's a
of the-
repeat of CE 09080809,
Got it.
right?
Okay,
And case CE 11080181 was cited on August 12, 2011 for trash, debris, overgrowth, and again, as a repeat violation. This property was out of compliance for 19 days, resulting in a lien amount of $1,900. Case CE 12060048 was cited June 5th, 2012. This property was also cited for clean and sanitary excessive overgrowth, and they had to do an emergency abatement, and again, a repeat of the previous case. On July 18th, 2012, the special magistrate ordered a fine of $6,000 on the property. The property was out of compliance for 30 days. Special magistrate, although this is the new owner, we cannot ignore the fact that this property has been cited several times for the same violations, and violations that pose a great threat to the community. At one point, the last case, CE 12060048, an emergency abatement had to be done in order to cure the violations. So this is why this, overall, for all violations, the city is seeking 25%.
so I just want to make sure I'm following along.
I'm
We
so
had the 2009 case ending in 809, and that ended up with a $52,700 lien.
It's two liens on the 2009 case, $1,400 for the rental license, and $52,700 for the remaining violations.
Okay.
Right.
But then the 2011 case ending in 387 was a repeat.
Was a repeat of the overgrowth, trash and debris, and that one was for $3,450.
And then the 2011 case ending in 181 was a repeat of both of those.
Was a repeat of case C, the number 10 on the agenda, CE 11050387.
And then the 2012 case was a repeat of those.
Yes.
All right, just making sure I'm following along. Okay. And then you gave me the property appraiser. Okay, let
That's
me come over to the applicant. Yes, sir, if you can tell me your name and address, then you can tell me.
Yeah,
about
my name
your
is
request.
Albert Iglesias, property address 725 Southeast 7th Street in Fort Lauderdale.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I recently acquired the 3 vacant lots. I guess the story is going to remain the same for the 3 of them, but we can go on a case-by-case basis. I
It
acquired
is.
them via quitclaim deed this past summer. I think it was in July of 2021 from the previous owner, Michael Feldman. Michael Feldman acquired them at the tax deed sale in 2013 and 2014. He was unaware that the city debt and code enforcement leads passed with the tax deed. He believed that once he bought them at the sale, that all previous code violations and stuff would be relinquished. So he was unaware that he would have to go through this process and didn't have the funds or time to be able to do so, which is why I acquired them from him with the intention of building single-family homes in the neighborhood. I can't really speak to any of the violations prior to my ownership. If you look at, for example, the 914 property in question that we're speaking of right now, all of those cases occurred before his time of ownership. So Michael Feldman acquired them from the tax deed sale in 2014 for this specific parcel. All of those were from the previous owner, and I believe there was a house that was demolished on that property at some point. 2 or 3 weeks ago, I made the city whole and paid all of the debt that was owed for all 3 vacant lots, totaling over $52,000 out of my pocket for all debt for clearing the lots, removing the debris, knocking down the house, boarding up the windows. So I'm asking for the city to be able to waive that settlement due to the fact that a lot of money has already been put in to repay the city, plus all interest accrued from 2009 through 13 for all the liens in question.
Okay.
Not to mention, if you look at the property appraiser, the taxable values for the lots range, I believe, $10,000, $15,000, and then 914 is $30,000. So the value of the lot is significantly below what the settlement amount would be, not to mention the amount already paid to settle, or to settle the hard cost.
Okay. Anything else from the city?
I mean, as he stated, we have 2 other addresses, but it's the same story over. Cited for overgrowth, repeat, and like I said, and the city had to do an emergency abatement on these cases, so it just shows how much of a threat it posed to the neighborhood. It wasn't just.
I mean, moving forward, I think that this wouldn't be an issue anymore now that the property is in responsible hands. There is a maintenance contract with the local landscaper to maintain the lots every 2 weeks. This property, 914, as well as 705 47th Street, also had a chronic nuisance case on them, of which was the first thing I did in developing an action plan that has since been closed out because the properties have been in compliance since I purchased them. So I don't see this being an issue moving forward. I also think it's going to help improve the community. This is a lower income area. I myself have had problems just trying to find a landscaper to mow the lots because a lot of people don't want to go into that neighborhood. There's a lot of homeless people and crime. So in building single family houses, which is the intention, I think it'll improve the community and bring some owner occupants into the neighborhood.
All right.
And as another side note, if you look at the chain of title too for 914, you can see, I don't know if it was only this one or another few lots. One of the previous owners was Tarpon 4 LLC, which is notorious for buying tax deeds and tax certificates and never maintaining them. I'm sure you've heard their name before at different hearings. So they were never going to clear the violations when they bought it from tax deed. And Michael Feldman was unaware that any debt carried or violations at the tax deed.
All right, and then, so we're basically going to have a similar exercise for 11, 12, 22nd Street and 705 47th
It's
Street.
the same
Yes,
story
yes.
for all of them. They were all owned by Michael Feldman, who acquired all 3 of them from the tax deed. I acquired all 3 of them
They're
from him
literally
directly.
repeats of each other.
I beg your pardon?
All the cases coming up, they're repeats of each other, same violations over.
Yeah, I understand. I'm
Yeah.
trying to. And then, so, were the properties still in violation when you acquired them, or had the violations already been cured?
No, there was no code enforcement liens or violations during the period of time when Michael Feldman owned them, which is the guy I bought it from. He bought them in 2014, so the lots have been in compliance.
Okay.
So
it's been in compliance for a while, it's just.
Yeah,
these-
they've had minor violations here and there, like, they've been cited, but as far as like, acquiring liens, no. The last one we seen was cured back in 2012, but they
Okay.
have been cited.
All right, so here's what I want to do. Let's go ahead and put the other 2 properties on the record, and then I'm gonna do a global
rolling?
resolution.
Okay.
I want to take these
For the
in a
record.
vacuum, now that I understand what's going on here.
Okay, for the record, we also heard matter number 13, case number CE 06090607. Number 14, case number CE 07070579. Number 15, case number CE 08090557. Number 16, case number CE 09020684. Number 17, CE 09070049. All for case address 1112 22nd Street. And case, agenda item number 18, case number CE 06090251. Number 19, CE 07050848. Number 20, case number CE 07090651. Number 21, case number CE 08010623. Number 22, case number CE 09060679. Agenda item number 23, case number CE 11030385. Agenda item number 24, CE 11070205. Agenda item number 25, case number CE 11100161. And agenda item number 26, case number CE 12030073, all for case address 705 47th Street.
All right, starting with 1112 22nd Street, case CE 06090667, cited on September 21st, 2006, for a repeat violation, public nuisance, hurricane hazard, and overgrown lot on November 20th, 2006. The magistrate ordered a judgment of $50 until the property complied. The property was out of compliance for 211 days and resulted in a lien amount of $10,550. Case CE 07070549, cited on July 17th, 2007, for repeat violation from the previous case, CE 06090607. On September 7th, 2007, the magistrate ordered $75 for the 22 days the property was out of compliance, resulting in a lien amount of $1,650. Case CE 08090557 was cited February 24, 2009, for trash, debris, overgrowth, and as a repeat of the previous case, CE 07070549. And on April 22nd, 2009, the magistrate ordered $50 a day for the 44 days the property was out of compliance, resulting in a lien amount of $2,200. Case CE 09020684 was cited. Oh, I think I repeated this, but did I repeat this? I'm so sorry, I repeated one by accident. That's a lot. Was also cited for trash, debris, overgrowth, and repeat violation. On April 22nd, 2009, the magistrate ordered $50 a day. Oh, I'm wrong. I wrote one wrong. I'm sorry. Give me a second. Okay, sorry, I missed one. I apologize, everyone. Okay, property was out of compliance for 44 days, resulting in a lien amount of $2,200. Case CE 09070049 was cited July 1st, 2009, for trash and debris and overgrowth, landscape maintenance, and as a repeat violation. The property went to hearing on November 18th, 2009. Special magistrate ordered $200 a day for the 128 days the property was out of compliance, resulting in a lien amount of $25,600. Okay. Now the last one. Case 705 47th Street. Case CE 06090251 was cited on September 11, 2006 for garbage, trash, and debris, overgrowth, and landscape maintenance. On October 13th, the magistrate ordered $100 a day until the property was abated. The property was out of compliance for 5 days, resulting in a lien amount of $500. Case CE 07050-848 was cited May 22nd, 2007 for landscape maintenance, overgrowth, failure to maintain the property in good condition, and as a repeat to the previous case. On August 3rd, 2007, the special magistrate ordered immediate fines on the property, and the property was out of compliance for 25 days at $150 a day, resulted in a lien amount of $4,350. Case CE 07090651 was cited September 18th, 2007 for trash and debris, overgrowth, and as a repeat violation to the previous case. On November 9th, 2007, the magistrate ordered an immediate fine of $100 a day for the 30 days the property was out of compliance, resulting in a lien of $3,000. Case CE 08010623 was cited January 16, 2008 for trash and debris, overgrowth, and as a repeat to the previous case. On March 7, 2008, the magistrate ordered an immediate fine of $500 a day for the 35 days the property was out of compliance, resulting in a lien amount of $17,500. Case CE 0609060679 was cited June 17, 2009 for trash and debris, overgrowth, and as a repeat of the previous case. On September 16, 2009, the magistrate ordered an immediate fine of $750 a day for the 29 days the property was out of compliance, resulting in a lien amount of $21,750. Case CE 11030385 was cited March 4, 2011 for trash and debris, overgrowth, and as a repeat violation to the finding of fact case of CE 10080148. On May 4th, 2011, the magistrate ordered an immediate fine of $50 a day for the 30 days the property was out of compliance, resulting in a lien amount of $1,500. But in this particular case, there was a payment made of $1,070, leaving a balance of $430 to be paid.
I see that.
Okay. Case CE 1100161 was cited October 11, 2011 for trash and debris, overgrowth, and as a repeat to the previous case. On November 30th, 2011, the magistrate ordered an immediate fine of $300 a day for the 33 days the property was out of compliance, resulting in a lien amount of $9,900. Case CE 0120300073 was cited March 5th, 2012 for not registering as a vacant property and as a repeat violation. On June 20th, 2012, the magistrate ordered an immediate fine of $400 a day for the 31 days the property was out of compliance, resulting in a lien amount of $12,400. In all cases, the city is seeking 25%, being that all these cases have been a result of, repeats, overgrowth, trash and debris, things that pose great threat to the community.
Okay. All right, so everything's on the record. I think I understand all these violations occurred between 2006 and 2012, long before you purchased the properties. These are all vacant lots. And are they all in residential neighborhoods?
Yes.
So you're planning to develop them as single-family residences, I guess?
Correct.
Thanks.
I mean, like I had mentioned before, all the debt was paid to the city for all the times that they had sent, their own crews to mow the grass, remove the debris, board up the windows, knock the house down. plus all the interest from those years past. So, given the value of the lots, being that if I have to settle at a high amount, given the $52,000 I already paid to the city, it's going to be the debt paid is going to be more than the value of the lots.
No, I think the lots are all around, what, 30, low 30s valued?
The 914 lot is appraised on the tax website at 30,000. 1112 22nd Street is appraised at 10,000, and 705 is appraised at 15.
Okay.
So altogether, on average, it's about $16,000 in debt paid so far per lot, which is more than the tax value of 2 of the lots.
Ms. St. Hilaire, you mentioned in the 914 13th Street address, there was some abatement activity that the city, do you know what the,
Yes,
do you know what the city's,
cost was on that? I don't know.
yeah, what did the city spend on that one?
I'll tell you which case it was. Special magistrate, any abatement would have to be paid prior to coming to this hearing. Thank you.
Say that again?
Any abatement fees, would have to be paid in order to get to the hearing prior to this.
So those would have all been taken care
Yeah,
of?
they would have had to be taken care of to
That's
move.
part of what
forward.
you've already done then? Okay. And I thought that last one was hard. Okay. For record-keeping purposes, do I need to do for each individual, like I can't do it by the address, I have to do it by the case, right?
Well, if you want to say like 10,000, then you need to specify
For each case?
0 or.
Okay, so let me just, give me a second here to,
Special magistrate, the city would request that if you're assessing anything more than 0, that it definitely is something per case, because
yeah,
we've had the problem in the past where if somebody doesn't pay, then all of a sudden, one case out of several is 0, and they don't have to end up paying on that
now
one.
we have 18 cases across all 3 properties, and my recollection is that, in cases where there are bundled cases like this, the city objected to zeroing them out and putting it all under one case number for accounting and record-keeping purposes, so, and I'm fine with that. Give me a minute to, even if it's $1, let me figure this out for a minute here. Okay. So agenda items 9 through 12, that's the address of 914 13th Street. There are 4 case numbers. The lien amounts are $52,700, $3,450, $1,900, and $6,000. I'm going to reduce each of those to $1,000 each so that address has a total of $4,000. For the agenda items 13 through 17, there are 5 cases. The lien amounts are $10,550, $1,650, $6,150, $2,200, and $25,600. I'm going to reduce those to $800 each, so the total on that one is also $4,000. On the address of 705 47th Street, there are 9 liens varying from $430 up to $17,500. I'm not going to read them all into the record, but I'm going to reduce each of those to $400 each for a total of $3,600 on that address. So time to pay, I'll give you up to a year, whatever.
Can I request them to be lower given the situation?
Okay, that's my number. That's what I think is appropriate.
Yes, because if you look as well on the 914 13th Street property, there is still a pending tax bill for over $30,000 on top of the debt that was already paid.
Okay.
So I'm pretty much like upside down on that lot. And I just don't think that the house has become feasible anymore to build, given the cost of construction. It's just going to spend more time sitting there vacant.
Well, I have entered the numbers that I feel are appropriate. If you're welcome to try and negotiate a lower amount with the city if they want to do that. That's fine by me.
Yeah, I don't know how it
My
works on
order
this.
will be as I've stated, and you can put 12 months to pay that on the order, and I will sign that. Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks.
I think we have reached the end of the agenda. Is there anything else that we need to do this afternoon? All right, then it's 1:08 and we stand adjourned.